Okay, so I bought this off of Amazon for about 19 bucks. And as you can see, I've marked it up. I'm going to cut it so it hits me just about mid-thigh here. And then I'm going to use these panels to make the tabards. And then I'm going to have to slit the collar so that I can make the overlapping portion of the robe. Alright, so this is what I eventually made. Truth be told, this took me all of about 10 minutes to cut and put together. Walk around so you can see what I got going on here. I had to cheat a little bit. My wife had made an Obi. This part here that goes below the belt. She'd made an Obi for a different Star Wars cosplay that I was doing before. And I kind of wish that the sleeves were a little bit more loose, like what you see in the films. But overall, for the time and the money, again, I spent around $19 for that robe. For the time and the money, I thought this turned out pretty well. Now, it looks good from afar, but far from good. As you can see, there's a lot of cuts. I just did this real quick. I might need to do some alterations. Some of the things that I really like about this, I like that the tabards that I made, I cut the bottom half of the robe to make the tabards. I like that they're nice and thick. You don't get that from the costumes that you buy on Amazon. Generally, those tabards are pretty narrow. I like that it's got a kind of a homespun look to it, you know, like it's something that's been worn for a really long time. I'm definitely going to need to add some buttons to it. This part here is just an double extra large brown long sleeve tee that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, I believe it was. And then I slit it so I'd be able to get this effect here. I slit the front of the robe to create this effect. And then, of course, the belt came with my previous costume that I purchased from Amazon. And this Obi came from a previous costume that my wife had made for me to cosplay as Anakin for Halloween with our kids. Again, I like the fact that the tabards flow further down. The tunic I cut so it hits me about mid-thigh. And I've got the tabards going down a little bit further. Obviously in the back they don't go down quite as far, but I feel like they go down pretty significantly. Overall, I'm pretty proud of what I was able to accomplish in just 10 minutes with a pair of scissors, no sewing, and a little bit of ingenuity. You know in the comments what alterations you think I should make. Are the tabards too wide? Do I need to cinch them in a little bit more? Should I include a different color of Obi to make it match more with the fabric of the robe itself? Are the tabards long enough, or could I make them a little bit longer, or are they too long? Let me know in the comments what you think. So I'm not a very crafty individual. My wife's really good at that kind of stuff, but she doesn't really want to get involved with a lot of the things going on with the YouTube channel. And I just wanted to try something kind of neat. Some things that I wish I would have thought of before cutting. I should have only cut across the front part without cutting through both halves. What happened then is the tabards got kind of bent in because the cut wasn't exactly straight. If I had been thinking correctly, I would have cut up the side of the seam and then cut across so I could have a more straight line for the tabard. But again, I'm not too upset with the way that this turned out because I think that it's got that nice homespun look to it. Some other things that, as I'm looking at it and would do in the future or might add to it in the future, as you can tell, this shoulder's kind of dropping off quite a bit. So what I think I'll do is I'll make a purchase of some Velcro strips. You can get those with adhesive on the back of them. And I might just put them on the tabards and on the collar of the tunic so that they can meet up and it'll hold it on there a little bit better. Although it's not holding too terrible right now. I also need to get some Velcro or some snaps so that I can hold this piece together on my chest and then hold the tunic together at about the midline, about here. Oops. I might need to make an alteration there as well, do a little bit more cutting. But seriously, for a first brush attempt at trying to make my own cosplay, I thought it turned out pretty well. Please let me know in the comments what you think about the project, if you're interested in doing something similar, or any alterations you could think of that I might make to make it look even better. Thanks for watching.